Good evening. Welcome to Theatrical Theater Company's presentation of stories for the season. I'm Lisa Jane, your host for tonight. Theatrical Theater Company has been performing in Flagstaff for almost 50 years, and despite recent setbacks, we plan on being here for another 50 years. Even though the pandemic restricted our ability to gather in person, we've been busy during 2020. We've renovated the theater and have created numerous performances virtually, and we're launching a citywide arts podcast live streaming show. We've also had great success fundraising during the pandemic, managing to raise about $80,000 with a continuing goal of raising another $20,000 to offset our losses this year. And you can, as a supporter and patron of Theatricos, help make the difference by donating anything from $50,000 to $20,000 today by going to theatricos.com/donate. We have a 2021 season of shows that have been carefully curated to be done during the pandemic as we work our way out of a stay-at-home mandate. Season tickets for the new season are available now, just in time for holiday gift giving. We've also just started live from the theater basement, which launched last week and will run every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. So now it's time to sit back and enjoy our newest stage reading of Stories for the Season. Tonight's story is going to be "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," written by Clement Clarke Moore. And our reader is Chris Verrill. Chris is actor, director, and the executive director of Theatricos. So good evening, Chris. Welcome.
Oh, it is wonderful to be here, Lisa. Merry Christmas. Mele Kalikimaka.
Merry Christmas to you too. And I'm glad that you're going to be sharing this Christmas story tonight. I think it is one of the favorite of the seasons. And so I think without further delay, Chris, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away for "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Well, I have to get into character. We'll get this hat to go on correctly. There we go. Now we're all in the spirit of the season. "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" by Clement Clarke Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the roof, there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter, and away to the window I flew like a flash, and tore open the shutter and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to the objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick. I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dried leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the cursors they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose, like a cherry. The droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. A stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round belly that it shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and, laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed tonight's story. And thank you, Chris, for sharing this timeless classic. I think it's one of every child's favorite story. I know it was mine. I remember hearing it in 5th or 6th grade. Do you remember the first time you heard this poem, Chris?
Oh, I don't remember the first time I heard it. It was first read by the people of the world Christmas Eve, or actually the day before Christmas Eve in 1823. I think I probably heard it a year or two after that.
After that, okay. It's been around a while, but it gives me great joy. I think my favorite line is his belly shaking like a bowl full of jelly. I just remember that just tickled me so much when I was a child. Chris, if I can take you from your reader hat to your executive director hat, let's talk real quick about our fundraising. How important is our fundraising for this coming season?
You know, as you said in the introduction, Theatricos has been here for 50 years. We're going to be here for another 50. That said, the pandemic has been brutal on Theatricos and performing arts around the country and around the world. Now, there's good news. While we were $100,000 in the hole this year because of the pandemic and the fact that our ticket sales have pretty much screeched to a halt, we have raised 80 of that with just 20,000 left to go. So you, the person watching at home, you can become a member of Theatricos, whether it's a $50 membership or a $20,000 membership or more or less or anywhere in between, or a monthly amount, whatever is right for you. But becoming a member, making that donation before the end of the year That'd be a wonderful thing to do for Christmas to keep performing arts alive and well here in Northern Arizona.
It's something that's very important. I want to thank everyone for joining us again. Join us tomorrow, Christmas Day, for our next performance of Stories for the Season. Joe Maniglia will be reading the Nativity story on Christmas. It's our last one, but if you missed any of our readings for the seasons, you can catch them on our Theatricos Facebook page or on Theatricos YouTube. Thank you again for your support of Theatricos. Have a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
Good night.